Howdy there, egrets. How are you? Here are your answers to the yellow quiz that we took before break. Oh, I guess I need to get this going, though. I'm so sorry. I'm not on top of things here, am I? Hello? Is it not working? Wait a second. Oh, it's not going to respond. Oh, the one I wanted to remind you about was, remember that the one in the down at the bottom, 2B, this is the one that I said I want you all to do corrections. If you didn't do, if I wrote hard way and you didn't do it the easy way, then I want you to do corrections, even if you got it right, which is great. I'm glad you got it right. Let's use a better blue than that, shall we? Okay, so here are your answers. I'm so sorry to be so far behind here. Okay, so I'm just going to give you the correct answers. Remember, you must show your work. 1A should come out to be 6m. 1B, these went pretty well for most people, 25x squared plus 3x plus 7. C is 450 minus 23a plus 13b. Watch that you distribute your negative here, my friends. And this one, too, also needed a negative distributed. 2a went very nicely. The answer is x equals -3. Now, here it is. Many of you did it just the way it is here, and it's fine. It certainly does work. I'm glad you can work with your fractions. It makes me happy. But remember, we're sort of on the lazy plan here, so anything we can do to make something more efficient is the right thing to do. So remember that when you have denominators, you look at all of them. In this case, it's a 5, a 3, and a 3, and you find the common denominator. In this case, the LCD is 15. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your LCD and multiply everything by the LCD. And what that's going to do is it's going to get rid of all the denominators and make it a ridiculously easy problem to solve. So I'll start it for you, and then you can go ahead and finish it. So do 15 times 1/5. So what's 15 times 1/5? So again, the question that I ask myself is always, what cancels? What's left? What cancels? What's left? So when you do 15 times 1/5, the 5 and the 15 cancel to give you what's left? A 3. Good. Minus 15 times 2. So you got to multiply everything, even the things that don't have denominators. 15 times 1/3. What cancels? What's left? Right? There's a 5 left. 15 times 2/3 y. The 3 and the 15 cancel to give you a 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Now at this point, look at how ridiculously easy this is to solve. I mean, scary easy. So when you finish this, of course, you're going to show me your work. You should get y equals -5. So if you did not do it that way, or if some of you move things around first and then you multiply by the common denominator, that's okay too. But if you just left the fractions until the very end, would you please do your corrections and show this method? Thanks. Okay, I'm going to the next page. Letter C. Distribute that whole mess. And actually, okay, so in this case, when there's a fraction, I always look carefully to see how it's outside the parentheses. If I distribute this in, I just look at it really carefully, sort of critically, and say, well, will I still have a fraction after I distribute? Sometimes I'll distribute first just to make sure. But if I look at this really carefully, you can see that the 3 will cancel in both situations, so you won't have fractions anymore. So I did not get rid of this fraction in this case. You know, don't do something that's not necessary. And you should get y equals 8. Now, the next 3 are quadratic. This one is already in factored form. Remember, what you need is factored form. That's what this is. So each of these factors gives you a solution. Some of you need to be more careful. You get these two linear equations. Make certain that you can solve both of them. You should get -4 and 2/3. So if you have to show your work to do this, please do so. Okay. Letter E is that there's a GCF. A lot of you missed that part of it. When you pull out the GCF, then you should get x equals 0 and -4 rather. I won't show you that factoring. I'm pretty sure you could find it. And this one's just normal factoring. And when you finish, you should get x equals -5/2 and 3. If you have difficulties with the factoring for either of these, please come let me know, and I can help. This evaluate went pretty well for most of you. You should have gotten 57/16. And again, sometimes you just get weird answers, and that's okay. This one went really well for a lot of you. I was quite pleased. The problem here is that there's not a 0 on the side, it's a 12. So you have to, it's kind of like, I think of this as, you know, I'm going to paint my room, but I don't like the paint that's already on it. In other words, it's factored, but it's not the factors that I want because that's 12. So even though there's paint on the wall, I'm going to take the paint off the wall by distributing. Oops. Then I'm going to, I don't know, what do you do, prime a wall or whatever, by moving the 12 over. And then I'm going to repaint the wall by factoring, blah, 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 blah. And you should get -5 and 3. So show your work for that if you feel like it. I think that's worthwhile doing on your corrections. I know normally we don't do the extra credit on your corrections, but in this particular case, because this is not that hard a problem, we just hadn't done any, so I thought I'd throw it on there. It went really well. So you guys did great on that. If you need anything, need any help, let's get this done relatively quickly. Remind me in class, and we'll come up with a due date for this. Thanks very much. Have a good time. Talk to you later. Bye.